There have been few changes to the first home owner grant and stamp duty, which is effective from the 1st of July. We invited the director of the Australian Property Investors Choice to keep us informed with these changes. It's with great pleasure I'd like to introduce Sampath, Saara in our studios this morning. Good morning and welcome to our program.
Good morning, Derek.
Sampath, very briefly, will you be able to tell us the new changes for the first home grant and the stamp duty?
4 major changes has been announced by the Victorian government, and the first one is new stamp duty measures for first home buyers, and the second one is changes to first home owner grant, and third one is changes to off the plan duty concessions, and also introduction of tax on vacant rental properties.
Okay. So those are the 4 topics.
Yes.
So can we start off with the first topic about the new stamp duty?
Yes. Now the new stamp duty will apply from the 1st of July. Say, Derek, if you are a first home owner, first home buyer, eligible first home buyer, and if you are buying a property under 600,000 from first, if you sign the contract after 1st July, you will not pay any stamp duty. So that means you are exempt from the stamp duty if you are an eligible first home buyer. And also, if you are an eligible first home buyer and if you are buying a property between $600,000 and $750,000, you get stamp duty discounts based on the property price. So the lower the property price, the higher the stamp duty discounts you receive.
Sampath, on the first home grant, will there any changes in the regional Victoria?
Yes, Derek. First home owner grant has been doubled for regional Victorian property. So if you are eligible first home buyer and if you are buying a property worth up to 750,000, and if you are buying in regional Victoria, so you may be eligible for 20,000 first home owner grant. But don't get too excited, because there hasn't been any changes to first home owner grant in metropolitan Melbourne, so that stays the same. And if you are buying a property in metropolitan Melbourne and up to 750,000, you still get $10,000 first home buyer grant, but that's only applicable to new properties, the first home buyer grant, so not for the old properties.
Okay. Now also, Sampath, you told me like the third changes were, in those days we are sort of got used to this buy something off plan to save stamp duty.
Absolutely.
Will there be any changes on that also?
Yes, Derek. Now the off the plan stamp duty concession is going to be abolished. So no more of the plan stamp duty concessions for if you are an investor. For example, let me take an example. This is just an example. And so now if you are buying either house off the plan or townhouse or apartment before it's being built, so you only pay stamp duty on the land value. So dutiable value is only on the land. So significant stamp duty saving. And so if you are buying the same property after 1st of July, Derek, so you have to pay stamp duty on the full contract value. So
of the property.
Of the property. So the no more stamp duty off the plan stamp duty savings for investors. So if you are an investor, it's the best time to buy a property, so you would be saving thousands of dollars.
Okay. Now there was something in the news I heard, correct me if I'm wrong. Now there's lots of investors, they buy properties and leave the properties vacant. Will there be any changes on that one also?
Yes, definitely. Victorian government is addressing that issue as well. So they want to make more properties available for rent. So now they're going to introduce a vacant residential property tax on any vacant property. So if you own a property and if the property is vacant more than 6 months per calendar year, and you need to pay 1% of the property value as a tax. So that's going to be effective from 1st January 2018.
Okay. Sampath, finally, is it the right time to buy a house, a property?
Well, Derek, that depends on whether you are a first home buyer or an investor. So let's say if you are a first home buyer, so it may be worth waiting till 1st of July, so you will be saving huge stamp duty, especially if you would be looking at buying an established property, because this stamp duty saving, you could actually buy either brand new property or established property and you are still eligible for stamp duty savings. Now, however, for first home owner grant, you need to buy a new property. So if you're buying an old property, you wouldn't get a first home owner grant. So definitely, if you are a first home buyer, and then if you would like to save a little bit stamp duty, I would recommend you to stay after 1st July till the law changes, stamp duty law changes, because the contract date is the date you will be paying stamp duty. Now, having said that, the only drawback would be, so more first home buyers will be lining up to buy their first home buyer with the new stamp duty discounts or the abolition of stamp duty, and then the land value might go up then. Okay. So that is there. And however, if you are an investor, now it's the best time to buy. So if you hold back now, for example, if you are buying now of the plan apartment, for example, or 500,000, for example, now you might be paying between $6,000 to $10,000 stamp duty,
yes,
depending on the land value. And then if you buy same apartment after 1st of July 2017, you might be paying just over $30,000 stamp duty.
That's quite a big jump.
Quite a big jump. I also just to give an example on the vacant residential property tax. So they you need to pay 1% stamp duty, 1% tax on the property value. Value is calculated on the council valuation. So, for example, if your property is 500,000, and then you need to pay $5,000 per year.
Thank you, Sampath, for the valuable information you have given all of us with this first home grant and the stamp duty. And let me wish you all the very best. You've been the director of the Australian Property Investors Choice, and a person like yourself gave us the right information. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Derek. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.